So I've got to the end of my 2 week experiment of half an hour of nature time every day. I did miss a few days. Yeah, it was interesting. I started to feel quite good through the process, which is, and not just feel good, have a lot more clarity, being grounded, being less caught up in that busy, muddled mind, and getting to the good stuff underneath. And what I did with that was I felt a lot stronger and ended up piling a lot of things into a couple of my days and didn't prioritize the nature time, which is really interesting. That's going to be a bit of a catch-22 moving forward. That balance between feeling good, feeling really grounded, and lots of ideas and good stuff bubbling up, and then having that, I tend to have a bit of a drive to get, as when I'm in that space, to get a lot done. So the downside is when I do that, I'm emptying my cup and I'm not filling it up again. Now, half an hour a day is a pretty big commitment, and it's not something everyone's going to be able to do. I remember years ago when John Young came out to Australia, one of the things he was talking about to me was the importance of catching the sunrise or the sunset, because for him during that time he had a lot going on. There were lots of goals he had around getting 8 shields out around the world, and he said the thing he really makes a lot of effort around is catching the sunrise or the sunset every day. And when I almost caught the sunset this morning, the sunrise this morning, and and earlier in the experiment when I actually did make it, and I sat there while the sun came up over the horizon. It is such a powerful, such a powerful, energizing thing to do. So that would be one of my hot tips moving forward. The other thing is the catching a sunset. There's so many benefits to that. There's that we are really a diurnal species, a species that is awake during the day, and then at night we're off to sleep. And catching the sunset, it's almost like it closes you down for the day. And it's very good for our circadian rhythms. The only problem is then when after the sun sets, we go inside and switch all the lights on and sit in front of a screen and do our marking or whatever it is. But still, that dropping in and the centering that happens when we do catch the sunset is a real gift. So what else have I learnt? Well, I've learnt that I really care deeply about the work I do and about the children, and I invest a lot of myself in the work, being a teacher. And it's interesting because I've learnt that some children actually really giving all of myself to try and help them is actually not what they're after. They want somebody some children want somebody who's clear, firm, with boundaries, is there for them when they need it, but that's it. Not really reaching out to outwardly show the care. They they just have different needs, and that the wisdom around that came partly from coming out, having my nature time and following my intuition and finding myself in a place where we're sitting with that question in nature, how best to help these children. The answer came through just being and noticing, and boom, the insight was in my head. And then over the next few days I put that into action and really got a good response from the children that weren't responding to the way I normally go about my caring and bringing a lot of my heart to being a teacher. The other thing that I've learnt is how essential it is to fill my cup. And it's such a cliche, and it gets talked about all the time. And I was talking about this to some of my fellow teachers and principal, and it's fascinating how when you're totally under the pump, the first thing we give up is the thing that nourishes us and fills up our cup. So that really has to be a non-negotiable. It's hard, but it has to be a non-negotiable. What is it that fills up your cup? Make the time to do it. You'll be much better as a functioning, productive human being than if that doesn't happen. So that's I have to be really diligent with that moving forward. The other thing I'm curious about is these last few weeks, that public declaration, that sharing of with colleagues and with you folks over social media. I'm not saying you have to do that, but it just mean the thing for me was making a public declaration. I'm going to do this for 2 weeks, and for the most part I did it. And I think having that accountability of telling others that I was going to do it really helped. And as an intervention, when things aren't going well and you're feeling like you're going a bit nuts and caught up in your mind with lots of stress and worries, I just can't recommend it enough. Do yourself a favour. If you're in one of those situations where life's going a bit nuts, half an hour a day, it's a big investment, but it's brings so many benefits. So I was going to say before, I'm curious about what it is like when these experiences are shared. So I've been journaling, or not journaling, I've been writing about these experiences and doing these little video grabs, and that has given me an opportunity to process what has happened during my nature time and consolidate what I've learned and move forwards. So I am really curious about what it would be like to come out into the bush with others, then go and do a solo experience, but then come back together and share what came up and what the experiences were for each of us. And I know from I mentioned 8 Shields earlier, but again from 8 Shields philosophy and processes, that is really powerful. It's not just 8 Shields, lots of systems, or lots of it's just a really good learning practice, isn't it? Going out, trying something, coming back together and sharing what we've learned. So I'm very curious about what that could look like, and I am keen to invest a bit of time in bringing others together who might be interested in this. So so just keep a watch out for that. I'm thinking maybe once a week or once a fortnight to have allow an hour probably here at Belair National Park, and meet up, work out a time that works for everybody, meet up, go out, do an experience. There'll be, you know, different provocations each time, and the people in the group might have ideas of what they want to do, and then come back, share, and then go on with our business of the week. I think there'd be a lot of power in that. Lastly, thanks for those people who have come and chatted to me about this, and either offered their support or have said, "Oh, I really appreciate you sticking these little stories up, because it's been really helpful for me." So, and that's two reasons why I'm sharing this. One is for my own accountability and processing of what's going on, and also for those, for the people who do get something out of it, and just gives them a few more tools to navigate our wonderful and tricky modern lives. All right, lots of love to all. See ya.